Hi, welcome to Maui. I'm Ross Williams and I'm here to show you and introduce you to our 2018 wave range. Now for 2018, we no longer have our Poison wave sail in our range, but we still maintain to have the Manic HD and the IQ. Now, most interestingly, because we no longer have the Poison, we've tried to transform our larger sizes of the Manics in the 5-batten configuration into what would be considered a Poison-y type wave sail. So from 5.4 up to 6.2, we have this 5-batten configuration, a little bit more grunt, a bit more profile in the front of the sail, kind of more locked in, a bit better for low end. And that's kind of like the Poison, what that used to be. And then in the smaller sizes, from 5.0 and down, we head into like the more traditional Manic feel to the sails. So in the 4.7 and below, we actually go from a 5-batten configuration to a 4-batten. So looking at the profile of the Manics, we have 5 battens. It's designed to be stable, easy to use, a great all-round condition competition sail. So it's going to work really well in powered up conditions. It's going to give you a lot of control. And in the smaller sizes where we go to a 4-batten configuration, it's going to feel nice and light in the hands. This is the second year we've gone for constant curve masts. Now all the sails, IQ and Manic, have been designed to fit on RDM masts, constant curve on a constant curve construction, and they're best suited to be rigged on either our 100% or our 75% carbon based mast. Looking a little bit more in detail now at the Manic, we have on all the Manics, we have the posi leech system, which allows us to have a smaller insert boom, shorter, more compact feeling. And then we also have the convertible batten system. This allows us to play around and take out the full length batten and put in a 3/4 length. This allows us a bit more tuning range. It's great thing to do if you're using the sails in underpowered to barely planing conditions where you need to have a little softer sail, softer feeling, get the sail breathing, get you pumping up and catching those waves. We also have another tuning aspect of the sail, and that's the double clue eyelet system here. This perhaps works in opposite to the convertible batten system, where it's useful for normal sailing, onshore conditions. Maybe you would put the top cluelet where you have a bit more feel in the backhands. When you're really sailing in overpowered conditions, or if you're in a competition where you really need to have power but have control, then you switch to the lower clue, and that's going to take some of the extra power out of the backhand, so you have more control landing the jumps and doing all the tricks. The Manic has a new outline for 2018. So we've gone a little wider again in the boom and a little longer, but we've narrowed down the head, and that's the same as well on the IQ range. We've looked at making the sail a little bit more like a high aspect than in the past years. And that way we found we've had more control. The main difference between the feeling of Manic is, well, firstly, in the smaller sizes, the Manic's going to feel really nice and light but stable in the hands. And then in the sizes in 5.4 and above, it's going to feel more like a Poison but still have that 5-batten configuration, kind of like a Manic-y feel, but like just a bit more locked in power. Looking at the IQ, what we've been trying to do is make the most ultimate wave riding, most radical sail that we could. So for this, we wanted to kind of soften the sail up a little bit. So last year was the first year that we swapped over to constant curve masts. So I think all the sails have progressed a lot. We've worked really hard on progressing the luff curves to make them fit nicer to these new constant curve masts. The IQ now, I would say, has been for 2018 has been softened up. It has a little less profile in the top half of the sail, and then it has a little bit more deeper profile in the batten above the boom, a bit more shape. But in general, the sails feels a bit more softer to what it used to do a few years ago. So it's got a light, soft, spongy feeling, which is going to help you in underpowered conditions, get you up and moving on the wave and feeling nice and light on the hands. Now the Manics are going to have that more stable, constant power feeling and great top end control. So, I mean, each sail will suit any rider, but it just depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for to sail your wave riding equipment in more underpowered conditions, then perhaps the IQ is better suited to you. And if you're looking for a sail that you can take really in any condition, have a lot of control, a lot of great range in it, then the Manics are going to be for you. Okay, so that concludes like the overview of the sail. Now I'm going to take a look, and I'm going to de-rig and re-rig our Manic HD 4.7 so I can show you how to take out the convertible batten system, how to rig and how to tune the sail. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to rig and tune and to replace and take out the full length batten of the convertible batten system and put in the 3/4 length one. And now this is a general tuning and it can be applied to either a Manic or an IQ, either one, it doesn't really matter. So first of all, I'm going to start off with showing you how to adjust the convertible batten system. So I take my Allen key, my batting key, take off the tension as if I'm going to just take the batten out of the sail. And you can see I just push that in a little bit, the end cap, and then I'm free to kind of pull and leverage. You can use the batting key just to leverage the batten, put pressure on it down like this, and I can pull the batten out easy from the sail. Then I'm going to take the 3/4 length batten and I'm just going to put it back straight into the sail. But you notice as I get further into the sail, I have this kind of folded batten pocket thing here. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that the tip of the batten sits over the lower part of the batten leech here. So you see when it's in like this, it sits on top, and you can clear to see the batten through the opening there. That means it's going to go into the upper batten sleeve, which is the 3/4 length one. It's not going to be able to slip any further in. If your batten slips further in, that means that you haven't sat it on top of there and you need to do it again. So take it out and readjust. And then again, when that's done, you might need to adjust, take off a little bit more tension before you're able to slip the batten in fully. Get the little tightener and you can just pull it up and over, and then it's ready to tension again. Now one thing we have on a lot of our sails is we have a variable head system. This allows you to use different size masts, maybe the ones which are not recommended, but you don't have the recommended mast size. So you can adjust the top of the sail. Now I'm just going to show you how to do this. It's quite simple. You can just, I know that this is fitting my sail to the mast, so I want to have the mast cap as close to the head of the sail as possible. So I just pull on it, put it into position, and then feed it all the way through these cleats. Like so. And this is done before I've even put the mast in the sleeve. Once I'm happy that that's right, I can take the excess webbing. And we actually have a tiny little sleeve on the inside of our mast sleeve that I can thread this into. Just keeps it out of the way so it's not flapping around and it won't come loose and it won't rub against the inside of your mast. When that is done, then I'm ready to thread the mast and tune the sail. Okay, so I've just pulled on about 60% of the downhaul. Now I've fitted the smaller batten in the convertible batten system, and I'm just going to put the boom on. Now all the wave sails in our range come with 2 clue eyelets on the outhaul. Now these are a great way for tuning your sail further. So if you want to add more power, if you've adjusted your convertible batten system and you put your 3/4 length batten in, you can make this will make the sail feel softer. It's going to make it feel more spongy. It's going to allow you to even put less outhaul on, less downhaul, without making the sail feel like a brick and just too stiff. So it's going to increase the low end range of the sail. It's a great tool to have when you're just literally have enough wind to waddle out into the waves and pump on and catch some waves. So if that was the case, then I would be using my upper clue because I want to have a little bit of feeling in the backhand. And I'm going to pull enough outhaul, see, but enough outhaul. I want to be able to have it so like when on each pump, my sail can touch the boom, you know. And usually when I'm sailing in that lighter wind, I'm going to have slightly less downhaul as well. As you can see, my leech is much more closed. It still has a little bit open. This goes for the same for either a Manic or an IQ. Both sails, you can back off the downhaul, take the convertible batten system, put the 3/4 length in, have the higher clue, and this is going to be at your maximum low end wind tuning range. And then from there you can, as the wind increases, first of all I would probably go to my lower clue. That's going to take some of the power out the backhand. The more outhaul I pull on, the less power I'm going to get. The more outhaul I put on as well, the more twitchier the sail is going to feel because it has less shape in it. After that, I would go to adjusting the downhaul. So downhaul is a good way of releasing some of that power out of the sail. So once you're planing, it's great to have no downhaul when you're not planing, but once you start to plane, then it's good to be able to let the wind fill out the sail and for it to feel lighter in your hands, increase your top end speed. It just makes the sail feel nicer and more easy to manage in the hands. So from now, that's about as low downhaul as I would set on either of these sails. And then I'm going to put a normal amount where you can see the shaping is falling away. We have a more open head, and even in the second batten down, the sail is falling away a bit more. And that is what I would use, for generally the amount of wind that I would be sailing in with this size sail. And then I can also go back to the outhaul again if the wind's even stronger and I really need to get some more kill some more of that power. Then I'm going to pull more outhaul and flatten the sail off again. One last thing I would say is that always before I go out sailing, I want to make sure that there's enough batten tension on the sails. So I take my batten key and I want to make sure that I have pretty much as much tension on all the battens as possible. This helps just keep the structure of the sail together. Allows the sail to do what it's designed to do. So if you don't have the right amount of batten tension, the sail is more free to move around and it's going to be less controllable. Yeah, so that kind of concludes how I would set up my wave sails, and the same goes for the IQ as I would on the Manic. I would say the only difference, like the best way to describe what is the difference in the hands of compared from using an IQ to a Manic. The Manic is going to feel more locked in, and the IQ is going to feel a little bit more softer, a little bit more livelier in the hands than the Manic. So depending on what you're looking for in the sail, we've got you covered, and that's our 2018 wave sails reviewed.